Hello, everyone.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Anyone camping? Oh, okay. Oi, a lot of people already. Oh,
How
what's up?
how they already know, huh?
Don't know. Someone leak it, I think. Hello world. Saifu, hi.
Hello.
Techmon, TC, hi. So let's start. No question, huh? Anyone surprised? Any surprise? So
Yeah, I
today,
think we start first. Yeah.
so today we are launching a new product. So we are launching together worldwide with all other reseller from Raspberry Pi. So this is long awaited board. This is the flagship, another flagship from Raspberry Pi team. This is Raspberry Pi 5. So now you can high five.
High five to the future. Make
Yes.
Raspberry Pi 5. So this what? This word from ChatGPT.
Oh, ChatGPT recommend you lah.
Yeah. Kong Kong. Yeah, Mr. Kong.
Okay, without further ado, let's talk about Raspberry Pi 5. So this is the layout, the top. We'll talk about the improvement, the features in details. So bear with us. And of course, you can ask question inside the comment, under the comment, under Facebook, and also YouTube. Now let's talk about the main features. Okay, of course, it cannot be a flagship without upgrade of the CPU. So the CPU is now 2712. So Pi 4 is actually 2711. Okay, it's still quad core, but the architecture changed from A72 to A76. Okay, it's still 64-bit CPU, and this one is huge. Run at 2.4 gigahertz instead of 1.5 at the beginning of Pi 4 launch. Then after that, they upgrade to 1.8 for Pi 4. But 2.4 is very significant increment. Okay, so during launch, we will have only 4 GB and 8 GB RAM, and the RAM is also being upgraded to LPDDR4X. The speed we'll look at the speed later. So X I think is Express. So the Pi 4 one doesn't have X, although it's LPDDR4. Okay. Then it comes with a Raspberry Pi own developed design I/O controller. They name it RP1. So AKA Southbridge. So for those that learn computer architecture, you have Southbridge and Northbridge, right? So previously everything is on the CPU. Now they split out. The I/O controller is on the Southbridge, and this silicon, this Southbridge, is actually developed, designed by Raspberry Pi team. Okay? It extend out one bus or one lane of PCI Gen 2 interface. We'll look at that. This is quite demanded since Pi 4, because with this you can actually you can actually easily add in SSD, NVMe SSD. Okay, then the MIPI previously is actually one time two lane MIPI for CSI. Another one is one time two lane MIPI for DSI. But now is two time four lane MIPI for both CSI and DSI. In other words, there will be two camera or two display at the same time. You can do that. Okay. The micro SD card slot is being upgraded in terms of speed. Now it can support SDR104. This is higher speed of read and write. Okay. The power. This is most critical one. So the power now, it will require a special USB-C PD. PD is actually power delivery. So for those that know, most of the laptop or your smartphone nowadays come with PD charger. Okay, it can deliver higher voltage, but in this case, Raspberry Pi 5 only want 5 volt, but it needs 5 amp. This is special. So we'll talk about it later also. This one is on off button. This is long desire. Everyone want that. I also want that because it's very difficult to off the power. Now you don't need to off your adapter power. You just need a button there, okay? And the button is built in. It's ready. Come with the button, okay? Built-in RTC also. So for a lot of, if you are doing server kind of things or industrial, you want to keep the clock running even if there is power off. Now you can have it and it's built in. You just need a external battery. So that is also optional lah. Okay. UART connector for debug. Later, I think Idris will show. Okay. Idris will show.
Demo ah?
No demo, but I think the picture, right?
Yeah,
You
on
have
the slide. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
That one.
Heatsink mount and fan connector, as we all know lah. Pi 4 is quite hot. Not only the heat is hot, but it's hot topic. Of course, Pi 5 is hotter lah. It's hot topic also, and it's more powerful. And of course, generate more heat lah. So most of the time, most of the condition, you need a heat sink. Okay, and the board come with 2 holes for heat sink connector lah. Okay. So that's the features. Let's look at what's new. Okay, so we'll go through all these one by one in details. This is for you to look at what changes. So the first one is actually there is model indicator now. So I'm sure some of you have get in touch with Pi 4, right? So you might have problem. This Pi 4 is 1G or 2G or 4G or 8G in terms of RAM. So now don't worry. The indicator is mounted on the board itself. Okay, it's actually a resistor, a very small resistor to indicate the RAM being mounted on this board. Okay, so you don't need to even power up to know, and you don't need to decode the marker on the RAM IC, and then you know, this board is actually 8G, this board is actually 4G. So on the indicator there is 4 RAM size, but as I said just now, there will only be 4GB and 8GB during launch. Okay, and followed by the BCM, the processor. Then we have the PCIe 2 1 bus interface, on-off switch. Then the heatsink mount, there's 2 holes. Actually, at the opposite near to the USB 2.0 port, behind it there's another hole. So there's 2 holes. Then RTC connector for the battery, and followed by UART connector. Then you have 2 some connector is like the connector is like CSI port, but actually is smaller. It's actually 22 pin, 22-way connector, is more compact. So in other words, if those that understand and tweak a bit, you know that your FFC or PFC cable will not be compatible on this. You need to get another set of cable. So we'll explain that later on. Then if you notice, the PoE header pin, power pin is being shifted to this area, right behind the Ethernet port. So with that also, I need to highlight the Ethernet port is being swapped. So if you have a Pi 4 and you look at Pi 4, actually the Ethernet port is near to the GPIO, 40-pin GPIO. But for Pi 5, they swap it down to here. Okay. So most of the case will not be compatible. Pi 4 case will not be compatible with Pi 5. Okay. So the USB 3 remain there. USB 2 is being swapped, as I said. Then next to the USB 2, right behind the USB 2, there is a connector. That is the fan connector. Okay, so it is being upgraded, and they have taken care of a lot of considerations. So for example, now if you use fan, you can still use the GPIO, the head, because all the GPIO is independent from the fan. You don't need to, the power for the fan is not on the GPIO, it's on that connector. So even for UART, so you can still debug without going to the GPIO, enable the UART, things like that. Okay. So last one is actually the Raspberry Pi RP1, which is the south bridge. Okay, so let's move on. So this is the layout. First, let's talk detail on the BCM. So it's, as I said, 2.4 gigahertz, sorry. With cryptographic extension. And the other one, the catch is not on the BCM 2711. It's on the 2712. So with the cache, one L2 cache, L3 cache, and also there's also L1 cache. I think it's around 16 kilobyte only, L1 cache. So all those cache are actually memory faster than DRAM. So with that, we can get 2 to 3 times increase in CPU performance alone compared to Pi 4. So this is way surprise to me. Okay. A video call also being upgraded from this is 7 and running at 800 megahertz. Sorry, support 4K at 60 frames per second. Okay, at dual HDMI output. Okay, and it's ready for OpenGL ES 3.1 and also Vulkan 1.2, and also the HV decoder. And since we are talking about the CPU, we move to the RAM. So the RAM is running at, of course, LPDDR4X is 2467. This is the speed, okay, the bus speed. Just for your information, if we compare to Pi 4 is actually 3200. Okay, and I need to highlight because I'm sure people will still ask, there will be only 4GB and 8GB available during this time. Okay, 1GB, 2GB, we are not sure, but what we heard is maybe end of next year, end of 2024. Okay, and the RAM size is on the board, is indicate on the board. Okay, so this is the RP1. This is the first flagship board, full-size computer that use silicon developed in-house at Raspberry Pi. Okay, so the RP1 is actually developed by Raspberry Pi team. So of course, it's not their first silicon. The first silicon is actually RP2040. But RP2040 is not used on the flagship board. Okay, so it's actually a I/O controller. Normally we call it South Bridge in computer architecture. So it reduced the load on the main processor and simplify the layout of the main processor also. Okay. It actually communicate or interface with the BCM, the host computer, host CPU through 4-lane or PCIe 2 endpoint. So in charge of Gigabit Ethernet, the host 2 USB 3.0 host controller, and this host controller is the hub. So actually the 2 USB 3 port and also 2 USB 2 port is controlled by these two host controller. Okay. SDIO, one is for SD card, another one is eMMC, but of course for Pi 5 it only support SDIO okay, and it supports faster speed, which is SDR104. You can actually get faster and better diagnosis, Raspberry Pi diagnosis to test the SD card speed, right? You'll get better on Pi 5, even you're using the same SD card. Okay. Then MIPI transceiver, as I highlighted just now also, now is 4-lane and is being transferred to 2 connector, which is 22-way. Okay. Now you can get 2 DSI display or 2 CSI camera on the Pi 5. Okay. Previously you can only get one, either one camera or one display. And now you can get 2 or 2 display or 2 camera on one Pi 5. It also in charge of video DAC, low speed peripheral, for example, our GPIO, the SPI, UART, I2C, PWM, the GPIO I2S. Okay. Then what is that? Last one is actually PWM audio output. On this case, Pi 5 doesn't have any audio jack. Okay, the 3.5 mm audio jack is being replaced with the 2 MIPI connector. Okay. So that's RP1.
Over.
Yes.
Wait, got a question.
Come.
So what is the difference between DDR4 4627 versus 3200 for the same size, for the same RAM size for GB, 8GB?
Yes.
Does this number
That's
represent the speed?
the speed, the bus speed. Actually, our RAM, if you look at computer RAM, also have this kind of speed. Okay.
So yeah, of course, better lah. And
Yeah,
then
better
got
lah.
another question. In terms of supply, I can see price supply is quite demanding compared to previous version. Yeah. Up to 5. This one, you already covered or not?
Yeah, I haven't covered in detail, but actually, there's some, not to say mistake lah. It will not ask for constant 5M. 5M is the max lah. And later I explain. Actually, if you use normal, Pi 4 USB-C that can supply up to 3M, 3.5M, you can still use on Pi 5. No worry. Okay, but we'll explain later lah.
Yes. We see another comment. Okay.
Yep.
Now finally proper CPU and not a GPU imitate. Okay.
Yeah.
On those USB 3 ports share the same 5GB. Have independent.
No, now it's independent. You can we actually highlight it lah. You can do simultaneous 5 gigabits, 5 gigabits per second on both USB 3.0. Yeah. So that's the beauty of the RP1 also, because the RP1 actually handle that.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, that's all. Keep it coming. Let's continue. So that let me see. This is PoE. Why PoE? Oh, okay. Because the PoE pin is there. So we talk about PoE. So the header is being moved lah. So the earlier version is actually near to the header pin, the GPIO 40 pin GPIO there. I guess why they move it, because they need to poke a hole over there for the heatsink. No, this is my guess only. So they cannot put there. So with that, they need to move the PoE to someplace else, and it must be near to the Ethernet port, Ethernet connector, RJ45. So they also move the RJ45 down. That's my guess only. So don't quote me. So with that, the older PoE plus head or PoE head is not compatible with Pi 5. Right. So you cannot stack it, then you move the power PoE power pin to here, right? So they will come out with a new PoE plus head. So it's coming soon, in other words. Okay. And it must be able to supply 5M, right? So that's why also the PoE plus head, new PoE plus head is coming. So audio, if you notice, audio and video last time is composite 3.5mm jack is also removed, and is totally removed lah. It's not moved to other place. Okay, removed, and is being replaced with the CSI and DSI connector lah. And those connectors are now 22-way. It's not 15-way anymore. Okay. So anyway, there is still a video output. If you notice, next to the connector of the HDMI, between the HDMI, micro HDMI, and also the CSI connector or DSI connector, there's two pads. It labeled VID. So that's the video output. So this pad is actually same as the Raspberry Pi 00W20. That two pad is on there also. Okay. So the 2.4 lanes of MIPI camera display transceiver now can support both CSI together and DSI together. Okay. So support two camera or two display at one time. Of course, you can mix also one camera, one display, no problem. Just to highlight, both the connector can support CSI and DSI at the same time. Okay. You get, I'm sure there are people review. You'll get better camera image out of here. So next, gigabit Ethernet, not doesn't have any changes on there. It's still gigabit only. It's not 2.5E. So it's still gigabit 1 gigabit Ethernet. Okay, but it's being swapped lah. So I need to highlight here because enclosure lah. But most of the enclosure, if is quite high, most of them have the uh, because the Ethernet connector or RJ45 is slightly higher compared to the USB. So if the enclosure is designed properly, then it cannot fit. Okay. Except for those loose enclosure, then you might be able to fix okay, to fit it. Then the PoE header is being moved close to the Ethernet port. So the USB 3.0 port remains at the center. Okay. So if those devices that use USB 3.0, for example, I can remember some of the I think it's not had extension for, let's say, SSD. Some of the SSD use the USB 3.0 port, and then you might be able to keep it to use it. Okay, and the USB 3.0 support. Just now the question, right? 5 gigabits per second transfer rate simultaneously. Last time is being limited. You can only do one. Okay, one port. Now you can do 2 ports simultaneously. Okay, certified, good. Then this is actually the PMIC, power management IC. So of course, higher performance will need more power. Same for everything. Pi 5 will need more power. So actually, this PMIC is custom designed for Pi 5 only. Okay, it's IQS key control. It had 8 buck switch mode power supply regulators and 3 low drop regulators. It's in charge of the HDMI 5-volt switch. This one, it's in charge of the USB power delivery physical also. Okay, physical layer. Okay, it built in with RTC real-time clock and with battery backup and the battery charger. So if you look at this, the battery can be charged. So it's different kind of battery. It's not those CR20332, CR2016, those kind of one-time battery. Okay, it's a chargeable battery, rechargeable battery, and also integrate with the power button. Oh, this is nice. I like this. Now PCIe interface. This place, if you guys notice, this place is actually at the edge. Previously is the DSI connector, so DSI need to move lah. That's why it replaced the audio jack. Okay, this one is 16 pin. Okay, 0.5 mm FFC connector, and it's actually one lane of PCIe Gen 2 bus. So that is good enough to connect to NVMe SSD drive. Okay, it require impedance control FFC because it's too high speed. Okay, meant for high speed devices, for example SSD, as I said, wireless module. A lot of wireless module have M.2 connection also, or PCIe connection. So the M.2 head is coming. It's actually in development from Raspberry Pi team. They haven't launched it, but it will have internal news. It will have M.2 M key. So M key is actually for SSD, especially NVMe SSD. Then there is a hole to support 2230 and 2242 NVMe SSD.
Okay, well, we have questions here.
Yep.
So does this mean we can use both the dumb USB-C charger and the USB PD charger, or only PD?
Actually, it's like this. Talking about this, I think I'm not sure if I cover this one. Let me see at the back if we cover this. Oh,
So we will answer at the back.
yeah, we answer the back.
Later we'll answer. Yeah.
Later.
Good question. Good questions.
No problem. Jean is our good friend.
But we can use normal non-chargeable RTC battery.
Not sure, to be frank. I haven't used it. I haven't get one also on the rechargeable battery lah. So I don't want to spoil the only sample of Pi 5 I have, right? So we haven't tried it lah. But it should be dummy proof. It should be dummy proof. Okay, no more question So we keep it on. Let me see. So next is actually RAM variant indicator. So if you see the picture, next to the RAM IC, you have a memory there. Then there is some screen. It indicate 8G, 4G, 2G, and 1G. So this board, this picture is actually 8G. So there is a resistor over there. Okay, they mount it there. So that's to indicate. Okay, only, again, I need to highlight, I'm sure people ask, only 8G and 4G available during launch. 2G, 1G, our estimation is late next year, but it's not from us. This is from Raspberry Pi team, okay?
From my point of view, if you have a very good processor, GPU, all the performance, I think, yeah, you should go for higher RAM lah, instead of
Future
lower
proof
RAM.
lah, right?
Yeah,
Future
yeah,
proof.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's say one day you need higher RAM, you need to change your board. So of course, if the price is acceptable for you, then go ahead with the higher price one, higher RAM one. Okay, now next is actually the dedicated UART connector. This one in between these two, the two HDMI micro HDMI connector, there is a connector. That connector is being labeled UART, right? Okay, so it's dedicated. It's not shared with the GPIO UART pin. Okay, so and the best thing is you don't need to configure anything to use it. Even without any bootable drive, it will still output information. So early boot firmware info will be output. Okay, so it will become like a Linux console, which is good. I like it a lot. Okay, and no more having to enable and share the UART pin, from the 40 pin GPIO. So, nice, man. Forgot to say, this one is actually compatible with the Raspberry Pi Debug Pro. So previously, we actually have it. It's being used to debug the, what is it again? Use it to
Pico.
debug Pico.
Pico
or Pico W. Pico or Pico W. Okay. So just use that. You plug it there. I think there's a picture, right? Yeah.
Yeah. This one I try to use the debug probe and connect it to debug port on the Pi 5. You can see I only connect power to power up, and then I already flash the OS lah. Very, very easy to use. And for software, we use PuTTY and just select the COM port and set the baud rate. I set 115 but I check it can support up to 921, right? 921,000.
Yeah,
the baud rate speed.
921
600.
600.
Later I will try this. And I think because it's quite some time, I didn't remote using serial UI lah. Previously, when we launched the Maker Hat, Maker P Hat.
Maker P Hat.
So that time I still remember we have a UART to serial remote, and every time we want to restart the board, it will disconnect because the power is down, right? So this one very useful, and like Ober said lah, it will start showing the all the info during the boot until it go to the login page lah, login command. Very useful and very easy to use. Later we'll try to explore more and then we'll share to you guys. No problem.
Yep. I'm sure everyone is going to the product page already.
Why jam?
Okay, I think this is the last one on the main board lah. Okay, the SD card. So nothing much on the SD card, but it's now support SDR104 lah. So you'll get higher transfer rate lah, read and also write lah. So in other terms also, it will boot up faster. It will boot up faster. So we have tried actually previously Pi 4, if you use microSD card to boot up, it will take around 27 seconds. Now if you are using MakerDisk, MakerDisk actually support SDR104 also lah. It must be two-way lah. The host also must support this one, the SD card must support also. So all MakerDisk SD card actually support SDR104. We have tested it with Pi 5. The boot time now reduced to 17 seconds. I think 17 seconds is actually comparable with laptop already. Oh. And it's still push and pull. So there's no lock. It's not push and push. Push and pull.
That's good. Push and pull, I think better. In
Better.
terms of mechanical, is reliable.
More reliable.
Yeah.
So this is the overall picture of Raspberry Pi 5. Anyone want to ask, is there a model B or model A? As the name said, Raspberry Pi 5. We actually communicate with Raspberry Pi team. So for them, there's no logic to do another A model. So it will remain Raspberry Pi 5 only. Okay?
Like Raspberry Pi 4 only. Even
Raspberry Pi 4.
Stated, even it stated model B, but now 5.
Yeah. It's not really logic to come up with 3/4 of the board and remove the Ethernet and remain one USB. So it's kind of wasted lah. No built-in. Oh, okay. So this is the back. This is the front, the top view. Okay, this is the back view.
Roy Chipeng. No, this one is not NPI. This one is
hot from oven.
Hot from oven. So what is different? NPI and hot from oven.
NPI is schedule lah.
NPI is we carry the product. Even the product already existing in the market. Then we just carry the product. But for hot from oven, it is how to say? It is new worldwide. Yeah, worldwide. Everyone worldwide. Launched today at this time. Yeah, worldwide.
This one is hot. Yeah, it's very hot.
Okay.
Two meaning over there. It's quite hot topic, and it's very hot also. So you really need some sort of heat dissipation or heat management. So okay, I didn't talk about the PD, so let's talk about the PD to answer Jean question just now. Idris, can you pull up the Jean question just now?
eMMC.
Not eMMC, the earlier one, the PD one.
Wait. Okay, this one.
Yeah, does this mean we can use both the dumb USB-C charger and a USB PD charger? Okay, this is quite confusing things. You must use PD to enable the high power performance or full power of the Raspberry Pi 5. But you can still use the normal USB-C even for PD one. But then I must also stress, even if you use PD, normal one, it will only take 5 volt from that PD charger or power adapter.
5 volt and 5 volt and 3 amp.
5 volt only, 5 volt only. Okay, 5 volt only. So normal PD charger or adapter at 5 volt it will only give 3 amp. Okay, it only give 3 amp. So then you ask why PD and use 3 amp only. Correct, because as a whole Pi 5 only 5 volt only. If you give, let's say a PD charger, other PD charger 9 volt, 12 volt. If you use that, if the Pi 5 board take 9 volt, it will require another regulator to regulate from 9 volt to 5 volt. Right? It increased the complexity of the power management and also the cost. So what they did is they want to maintain 5 volt. The PD is to use to let the Pi 5 know I can deliver how many amp. So if it's 3 amp, then still remain normal operation only. Normal operation can still use. High power operation is it will enable 1.6 amp output, maximum 1.6 amp output to the USB 3 port. That's all. So if you use normal one and you don't power up, USB high power devices like, let's say HDD hard disk, or 1 terabyte hard disk, not the SSD. SSD might need also higher power. So if you don't use those kind of device on the USB 3.0, it doesn't matter one. Okay, you can still use the 3.5 3M USB-C power adapter like Pi4, but I don't recommend using the using the USB from computer to power it up. We have a lot of problem coming back because of when I update the firmware, it shut down. When I do this, it shut down. Then after we investigate, using the USB from the TV, using the USB from the laptop. Cannot. Use a proper adapter. Okay, good. So the official, later we'll talk about the official accessory. So you can still use, but if you want to be, future proof, worry free, use the official one.
Okay, we check comment first.
Sure.
I change. Will go Quill City Mall? Oh, this one My Digital Maker Fair. I think Riro team will go there.
Yeah, real team lah.
Is the CPU fan necessary? It is better to have I think.
It's better to have. To be frank now I'm running it at my site I can still touch it but it's running normal only. It's quite hot. I my guess now. Of course, I don't have temperature sensor. I didn't acquire the temperature also. I think it's
tried
50
before.
something.
I tried before playing the full HD video on YouTube. And the temperature can go up more than 70.
Whoa,
So,
more than 70.
yeah.
So it's quite close to the 80 already.
More than 70. Then I think it is better to have a fan.
I think it's better to have, because even for Pi4, if you look at the enclosure, all those accessories, most of them will come with at least heatsink or a fan. So if you just imagine Pi5 is more powerful, right? As you said, powerful, right? So more powerful, you generate more heat.
Okay.
Although it's still considered low power.
Okay, this one. He asked, available 23rd October?
Available 23rd October, depending on. Actually, let me put it this way. The first batch of ready stock will only available on 23rd. Okay? But it will be subject to the compliance of each country. So, our news, Malaysia is not in the first batch. Singapore might be, but still we are waiting for the confirmation. US, UK, of course, because the home country is actually UK. UK, US, Euro will be the first batch, which is the 23rd of October. So anyway, Malaysia is expected to get by end of November, which is another month after 23rd of October. Okay, so that's our expectation. Once we have a confirmation date, we will open a pre-order. Okay, once we have a confirmation. Okay.
Yes. I like the onboard power button. Yes, I like too.
Yes, I like too. I think it's actually needed features. Even before Pi4, they actually wanted it.
What is the limited performance versus full performance difference?
As I said, actually there's no difference on the CPU side, the peripheral side. It's more to the USB 3.0 maximum current that it will open. Once it's PD and it can develop 5 amp, not many PD adapter have that features. I think it's 99.999% doesn't have that features. Only 0.01 maybe in the market have that features. You must be PD. because PD enable the communication between the host and the power supply, device and the power supply lah. So with that, it can actually let the device know, oh, what's my capability. So I can deliver 3M only, okay, 3M, then normal performance, no. If the PD adapter say, oh, I can deliver 5 volt at 5M, then it will open up the maximum current for USB 3.0 port, which is 1.6 amp. Okay, if it's normal, it's 600 milliamp only per port. Per port.
Can
Can
pre-order.
pre-order. Let's we'll get the the confirmation date first. We don't want to open up, then later we say it's this date, then we cannot get it. You guys are not happy, we are so not happy, right?
Will the sensors used in ARPi 4 and the installed OS similar in ARPi 5?
Okay, let me answer that. There's two questions, right? It is.
Yeah. Sensors used. I think sensor
I'm not
used.
sure
Maybe
about the sensor.
sensor will refer to the GPIO. I think it will refer to
GPIO is 99.9% compatible. We cannot say 100%, right?
Yeah.
Actually, the GPIO is gone through. It actually go through the RP1, which is the Southbridge. But from Raspberry Pi team is 99.9 lah. So even they cannot commit. So from us also we cannot commit lah. Then install. Okay. I forgot to highlight. This at the back lah. Raspberry Pi 5 can only boot up on the new Raspberry Pi OS Bookworm. The current Raspberry Pi OS is based on Debian 11, if I'm not mistaken, which is Bullseyes. Okay. Raspberry Pi 5 can only boot up on Bookworm. So they will be releasing Bookworm Raspberry Pi OS soon. Okay. As nobody have it, right? Only a few of us have lah. If you want a taste of it, you PM Idris maybe. Right.
Alright. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone share about Raspberry Pi 5 now.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the accessory. We have a few more minutes only. So the first one is actually the PD 27 watt USB-C PD power delivery PSU from Raspberry Pi team. Okay, so the nice feature is it's PD and it can deliver 5 volt at 5M maximum. Okay, and it's a custom PD output PD output. So as I said, custom not many PD PSU can do that. Meanwhile, it can also support the standard PD mode so which is if you want to charge your laptop, your phone, some of the phone can support PD also, some of the laptop can support. It's actually 27 watt PD power supply also. Okay, it's very high quality USB PD supply, power supply. Perfect to power up Raspberry Pi 5, enable the high power mode. As I said, high power mode is actually USB 3.0 port. The maximum current can go up to 1.6 amp. Okay, so you can still power up Pi 5 with the normal USB-C, but not the dumb one. Dumb one, I'm not sure how the power delivery. Use the proper one. Don't use it with your laptop maybe only but not very encouraged. Not very recommend it. Yeah, it might be sad things like that happen. Okay.
Even the power adapter have 5 volt and 5 amp, but it's not PD, then it cannot deliver the 5 amp.
Cannot because it cannot talk to Raspberry Pi 5. If there is no PD, it cannot talk to them. It cannot talk to Pi 5. Pi 5 will assume it can deliver up to 3M only or 3.5M. That's all.
Okay, have you compared the FPS, let's say, to run object detection model? Is there any
Not
huge
yet.
difference? Oh,
Not yet.
Still new. This product is still new, so of course
Still
we'll
new.
try.
But actually we saw it that Idris. Last week I think we saw it during the demo. There is OpenCV.
That one is different.
Oh, that one is different. That one is different. Okay. That one is different.
Okay.
Too
Of
many
course, later
secret,
we will try lah. But I think
too many
it have
secret.
a it have I think yeah there will be a huge difference lah, because in terms of graphic also like 2-3 times, right, 2-3 times
Yeah.
better
It's
compared to
much
the
better.
Pi 4. Yeah.
Yeah, compared to Pi 4. Next, the case.
Yeah.
You need the case, the official case. The official case, as I said, Pi 4 case is not compatible with Pi 5. So if you want a case, get the Pi 5 case, and this is official. It comes with two colors, but now we have only one color, red and white. So that's the official red and white. There's three part. Actually, there's four part lah. But if you dismantle it, there's three part. If you force it, you can have four part, which is the transparent, where the cooling fan is mounted. You can still detach it. Okay. Integrated with silent cooling fan is very silent. We didn't notice the fan is moving when we saw the demo. Okay, and it's at the middle. Okay, the fan connected directly to the Pi 5 fan connector, so it's not to the GPIO anymore. So this open up another possibility where you can have the fan or the or the case with the head. Now you can use the head together with fan already. Previously I want to use head together with fan. It's very difficult on Pi 4. So now Pi 5 open up this one. Okay. Connect directly. Okay, this one. The maximum speed of the fan is 8,000 RPM. Maximum airflow is 2.79 CFM. Okay. Then the software that control the fan movement, because it's speed RPM controllable, 4 pin. So actually, is you have the 5 volt. It's being powered by 5 volt. So that connector is actually 5 volt. Ground, a PWM pin, and another is tachometer. Tachometer is the fan speed feedback. Okay. So all these features is being automated by default with Raspberry Pi OS Bookworm. So you don't need to do anything. You just connect it. When it power up, it will measure the voltage on the CPU. At a certain level, it will trigger. Let's say 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. So you don't need to do anything. Of course, you need to get the hardware and also the correct software. Don't go and take the old software or OS from Pi 4 and put it into Pi 5. You cannot put one. Okay? Yeah, try it. So if you want to try it, go ahead. Possible for stacking also. So later I'll share some a picture. Let me see. Possible. Okay, it can integrate with some of the head. Some of the head I cannot guarantee all head. Okay. So because the 40-pin GPIO is free from the fan connection. So this is some of the picture. So there's a gap. Don't. Why we highlight the gap? Because some of the case purposely have a gap for air ventilation. But some of the user, when they buy back, when they try to assemble, they say, "Hey, I cannot fit properly." Something wrong with the case. So they complain.
They press until it's broken
No, they complain only. Actually, it's purposely leave a gap there. Okay. So there is also a transparent cover or side for the LED, and also there is a lid for button. Okay, lid for button. Yeah, so you can actually reach to the button, the power button. So if you remove the cover, so you see this one is what the lid can be removed and reveal the temperature control fan. Okay, the GPIO slot is being opened, so you can actually stack another head on it. But of course, you must extend the GPIO. So if you notice the GPIO, you cannot reach anymore, right? So normally, if you want to extend, we have what we call the 40-pin extender. Okay. I think the extender is in the Maker Pi head, right? Maker P head, right? I think we give that extender. Yeah.
Make a head base.
No, I don't think Maker head base. Maker P head have it, I think.
Oh, okay, the extender. Alright, understand. The connector one. Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. And if you notice the fourth side, you have a hole for mounting. Okay, for mounting, you can stack it. Of course, you
Okay.
need to use.
Okay, wait. This one. From
Yeah,
Jin.
Jin.
Okay, I think Jin answer to Techmon lah. They ask for the
Wow.
detection, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I think can
So
continue.
let's move on. So Raspberry Pi 5 protect underneath this lah. So improve cooling. The cooling will improve lah if you remove the cover, the top cover. Of course, because the wind or the air can move more. Okay, let me see. This one is optional lead. Pi 5 heatsink included. Oh, there is a heatsink, extra heatsink for you to put on the CPU. Okay, it's included inside the this official case. Okay. So there's also footer, silicon footer for stability lah. So there's also so far it's included also inside the packaging packing list. This is example. This is actually a sense head or sense head. So you can actually stack it. Of course, you need to extend. So this is example. So this one is remove the center fan, not cover. So the part that hold fan, you remove it. You can still keep RTC battery underneath here. This is nice. This one is for the PCIe lah. Here is for the debug. Here is for the ESI or CSI cable. So perfect. Stack it. Of course, this one you need a PCB stand or spacer. It'll become a cluster already. So next is actually if you don't want to cover using a case, I want to open, I want to see the PCB. Like just now, Jin asked also. There is another choice. This is without any enclosure. We call it a active cooler, heatsink and active cooler. So it's actually a single piece ionized aluminum heatsink integrated with silent cooling fan, also very silent. Pre-applied thermal paste at the back. Later I'll show you. You can paste it on. It's not pasted lah. It's paste on the heatsink already. You just flip it over and mount it. So it will touch actually the CPU, the PMIC, power management IC, and the Wi-Fi CAN, the tin can. The tin can is not necessary because it's not generating heat lah, but it's more for the stability lah, to level up the heatsink. Dedicated mounting hole. Forgot to highlight a mounting hole. The mounting hole that actually move lah. Sorry, I think it's too far already. Let me see. Over here, cannot see the mouse.
Which one? You want to point? Oh yeah.
I want to point next to the USB-C power. There's a hole. There's a hole there. Next to the LED lah. Next to the LED, there's a hole. For the active cooler.
Fan or active cooler. Okay. Yeah.
There's a hole there. Then next to the fan connector, there's also a hole over there. So that's maybe you can see later on. Okay. Actually, next to the USB-C, there's two holes. One hole is for the PCB mounting, then one hole is for the active cooler. Okay. So again, the cooling fan is automated by default in Raspberry Pi OS Bookworm. Okay. It's possible to integrate with SenHead and also other head because the GPIO is free from the fan connection. Okay, so this is an example of the thermal pad. It comes with the thermal pad. You just remove the protective paper, then you just flip it over. Then there's two spring pin. Just push it in, then you lock to Pi 5. Very easy. So this is an example. Then the fan is connected to that fan connector also. Okay. We have CDs in action. It can actually keep the. Let me see. I think the other day they stress test, right? This. If I'm not mistaken, I still recall that
they
picture.
stress test. Then the temperature is around 60, yeah.
60, yeah, 60.
60,
Yeah,
yeah.
60. Yes, the cooler is controlled by PWM and is being generated by default. It's being controlled by default lah. With the Raspberry Pi OS, you don't need to do anything. Okay? Of course, you want to do something, you go into the configuration lah. Okay. You should be able to change the temperature where you want to active, how many percent you want to active the cooler lah, or the fan. Next is the Panasonic ML2020 lithium manganese dioxide. Oh, it's the full mouth battery. So it's rechargeable. You can connect directly, so the connector is matched to the connector on Pi 5. But if you notice, this is 2-pin, the debug port is 3-pin, the fan connector is 4-pin. They are the same series of connector, which is the same as the Pico debug connector. Pico or Pico W debug connector. Okay, on there. That's the if anyone want to get that connector lah, you go and check that connector part number. You get 2-pin, 3-pin, and 4-pin. So this 2-pin is dummy proof lah, I want to say. So 2-pin can connect to 2-pin only. So there's no other 2-pin connector on board that can match this battery. So don't worry about connecting wrong connector lah. Okay. So of course, if you want to use the RTC, you need some sort of power to keep it counting, right? When the main power is off. So that's the main point of RTC. So you have to supply lah. If those that want to use RTC, get this battery, plug it in and use it. Okay, and rechargeable, which is good. When you plug in main supply, it will charge it on. When the main supply remove, then you use this battery to count the RTC only. So as I said, what's the name again? The CSI and DSI is being changed to smaller connector, which is 22-way lah. So it will still be compatible with the current camera module 1, camera module 2, camera module 3, V3. It will still be compatible, but you need to change the FPC cable or FFC cable. Change to 22-way to 15-way. So for camera, you can use back the Raspberry Pi Zero FPC cable, but that cable is not compatible for DSI display. Not compatible. So I need to stress. Anyway, Raspberry Pi team is coming up with 3 new length of cable, which is 50 cm for camera, 30 cm, and 20 cm for camera. That's big. It's coming soon. So we don't have any picture on that. So that's why you will not see product page yet. Okay.
Okay, we have a question here. Do the DSI support all the camera or just the V3 ones? So it support V2. It support V2. Just you need to use a new FPC cable. Yeah. And to be honest, the performance is better. I mean, you are using Pi 4 with V2, camera V2, and Pi 5 with the same camera V2, and the performance for the result on the Pi 5 is better. It's
much better.
Sharper, and because on the Pi 5 got we can call hardware accelerator lah for camera.
Yeah, for the camera.
So the result is better. Yeah, we also surprised on this. Later we will try it after we got the cable.
After we got the FPC cable, cable, we can try it now with the Zero cable also lah.
I don't think the cable is same for Pi Zero, right?
Same. For camera is the same.
Oh, okay.
For camera is the same, but of course, previously Raspberry Pi doesn't come with official 22 to 15 way FPC cable, even for Zero. So for Zero is third party, right? But now they are coming out with that already.
Oh, okay.
They're coming out with that. Okay, so you have another set for display. Okay, the port. Let me just highlight. the port, the CSI and DSI port, now you have two. That two port can support both camera and display. But the FPC cable is not dual support, dual mode. The FPC cable, although it's 22 to 15 wave for both camera and display, but it's not compatible for camera and display. It's meant for, if it's camera, then it's camera only. If it's display, it's display only. Okay, and there is a proper label on the cable. If it's display, it's display only. So there's another three length for display, not compatible for camera, with camera. Okay. So I think that's all. That's all. Any more questions? Yeah,
No,
1 hour.
no new questions. Yeah, 1 hour.
1 hour. So key
I didn't
takeaway.
Yeah. But continue. Move on.
Okay, key takeaway is two to three times better performance versus Pi 4. That is in terms of CPU performance. Because other performance is, you need to compare. For example, Idris just said camera performance also better. So I also don't know how to compare, give a number on in terms of camera performance. So that one will depend on the review. Okay. So 8GB, the RRP is 80 USD, but that is excluding local tax and also shipping. Then 4GB is priced at 60 USD, again excluding local tax and also shipping. Need to pay of course, need to top up for that. And it's only available during launch, as I explained. During launch is now, but the ready stock will only come on 23rd, depending on compliance of each country. Okay, I'm sure people will still ask. Okay, it only boot up. So I need to highlight this. I'm sure people will ask, hey, cannot boot up? Once they get it, cannot boot up? Why? Boot up on the latest Raspberry Pi OS Bookworm. The current one, the latest one, is actually Boost Eyes. Cannot boot up on Pi 5. You need to get the Bookworm version. Okay, so for full performance, use the new 27 watt USB-C PD power supply from Raspberry Pi. Okay, from Raspberry Pi, because outside there's PD 60 watt, even 60 watt, you only get 5 volt at 3 amp. So you not get full high power or full performance. Okay.
For
Okay,
the
that's all.
for the OS, I think they will launch on the 23rd, right? 23rd October.
Maybe
for
before
Bookworm.
that Maybe before that.
Okay.
Now we what we get, of course, later we'll show some demo. Now we get is actually beta version. So even
Yes.
if we release to you guys, then there might be some bugs. Then you guys will complain, right? So it's only for beta tester, for example, like us.
So got questions here. Will Pi 4 continue selling and price drop?
Continue selling, definitely. A lot of industry is using it. A lot of training center is still using it, and a lot of program is more matured on Pi 4. Pi 5 is just coming out, so they still need to tweak a lot of firmware libraries, things like that. And then of course the bookworm so they still need to tweak a lot, tweaking. Price drop, I'm not sure. I don't believe the price drop. So similar with 3B plus, there will not be price drop price hike maybe
Just want to share our stock for Pi 4, Pi 3 and 0 getting better. So you can check out at our product page. No limit. Okay, and then you can get up to 50 units one time. If you need more, contact our sales, no problem.
Is there people buying 50?
Not yet.
Got. Yeah.
Got
There is people.
Okay. So if need more, just contact our sales. We will try to serve you.
Yep.
I have one question about for Pi 5 speed 2.4 gigahertz. That one is maximum, or we can overclock?
We can still overclock.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
We can reach
Don't worry.
up to 3.
3, I don't think 3 is possible because it's quite hot already now.
Yeah.
If 3, then last time it's 1.5, then they overclock to 2.1. So that is 6 gigahertz. Maybe only lah. Maybe only. But I'm sure people will try it lah.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't tried it yet. To be frank, we get this around maybe last week
Yeah.
only. So and we
We
don't
only
have
have
time.
sample lah. We only have sample. This
This
one.
can share my screen or not? The other screen.
Uh,
How to shift it?
oh, okay, okay, okay. This one.
Yeah, this one. So this one is my other screen. I use a USB to HDMI capture card lah. Okay, it become a camera lah. So let me see. So this is the desktop of Wi-Fi. This is a Bookworm. Bookworm desktop is I don't know where is it.
Fisherman.
Fisherman. So
Yeah.
you see my hand. I'm not holding. I'm actually trying to press the button, power button. Once you press short press, you open up whether you want to shut down or not. And if you long press it, it will auto shut down. So let me shut down properly. Then I wake up it again. So let me see. Okay.
If you press once, it will pop up the shutdown, right? And then
Yeah.
press again, not a long one. Just press again.
It
Go
will
to
shut down
sleep
already.
or
No,
shut
it
down
shut
lah?
down.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Because there's no sleep actually. You can
Oh,
notice
okay, okay.
there's no sleep.
So the long press one to force shut
To
down.
force it shut down.
Oh.
So now
Okay.
it's off already. Then the power, I didn't remove the power. So I press again. Then it will actually auto wake up already. So now you see. Okay. I take around 17 seconds from when I press to see the desktop. Look, there, desktop. So I can the new one, you see, the power supply is not capable of supplying 5 amp power to peripheral. So it will be restricted lah. And it will also show the IP address. Let me browse. I have connected to the wired connection, so it will indicate also. See, this one I pre-install Mozilla. So there's two choice, either
Yes.
Chromium or Mozilla. So
The
when you
new
set up,
the new OS, yeah. The new OS will make you choose
when you
either
choose,
Chromium or Firefox.
so you can go.
Mozilla.
Of course, Raspberry Pi. I'm sure Raspberry Pi. They announced it. Yeah, Pi 5. So I can go to there, find out more. Okay. So that's all. I think. Anything else, Idris? You want to share maybe some video?
Actually, for video, you can directly check lah. I have done the unboxing video on our YouTube, Facebook. You can check Instagram, TikTok.
YouTube. Let's see YouTube.
If you share here, the quality is not good. I think that's all. I want to talk about the GPIO because actually I believe got something new on the GPIO because in the board it stated HAT plus GPIO. So we will explore later. I think we need to check on the documentation too, what's new, and then we'll share to you guys.
Free advertisement for GrabFood. So this is the unboxing from Idris, from us. You guys can go and check out. This is 8GB version. So any more question? Keep it coming. If no, then
Yes.
this maybe can put back our slide.
Yeah, wait. Yes, the Pi 5 web browsing speed is more acceptable now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Later
It's
I
quite
plan
smooth.
I plan to record playing the full HD video. Yeah, it's better. The performance
Looking
is good.
Looking forward.
Okay, so I think
That's all.
that's all. Happy
Thank
holiday
you, everyone.
in Malaysia. Alright, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Wait lah. I lama tak buat ni. End je lah.